If you've ever had one winning ad and then watched everything else you do flop, this video is for you. You'll see most brands don't have a content problem, they have an iteration problem. They don't know how to turn one winner into a scalable system. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the exact step-by-step system that I use to scale brands from $1 million in yearly revenue to $5 million and above. My iteration system is built on behavioral psychology principles, direct response principles, and most importantly, a messaging and concept strategy that actually holds up under pressure. All right, let's get to it. So before we actually get started on the iteration process, we need to define what is our foundation. And what do I mean by this? Like, what is going to be the way that we think about creative before going into the process? So what I'm showing you here right now is our creative strategy framework. And this framework is built around one idea. Every winner ad connects a deep desire to a problem the user experiences and provides a solution to solve that problem. These three elements together, a deep desire, a problem, and a solution, create your message. So now, the second step of this framework is, now that you understand your message, when you grab that message and you pair it with an angle, a visual format, and a conversion booster, then you get your ad concept. So for iteration purposes, your main objective right now is, okay, you have a winner that hit. Now you have to identify which of these 9 deep desires is it touching on, and then what's the problem it solves and what's the solution it proposes for it to solve it. Once that you understand this, then you can grab the rest of these elements in the concept and you can play with them to create new versions of the same ad, but not new versions of the same ad, but new kind of like vehicles that will communicate this message. Okay, so that's the idea. That's how we're gonna tackle the iteration process. Okay, so now that we saw the creative framework that we're gonna be using to understand message and how to iterate a concept, let's go to our ad iteration guide, where I will show you the different types of iterations you can do with very simple and visual examples. Okay, let's go to it. This is our ad iteration guide. Okay, the first thing that we're gonna cover is types of iterations. So when I think about iterations, I think of 3 different categories. The first category would be small iterations, the second medium iterations, and finally big iterations. So it's gonna be like small swing, mid swing, big swings. You can call it however you want, but in general, this is gonna be like the hierarchy that we're gonna be using. So small iterations, what are these? Changes of color, changing a headline, changing the font type, just change the music on a video, add or remove voiceover from a video. So super simple iterations. It takes you just a couple of minutes. Those are some simple ones you can do. As you can see, you're not changing ever the message. So we're keeping the message, we're just playing around with other stuff within the concept. Then medium iterations, you can exaggerate the concept. Okay, I love this one. This is from Eric Philippou on the Foxwell Founders group. Shout out to you, brother. So make a version that's way more dramatic or emotional. Again, keep the same message, just exaggerate the concept. And that can be a different visual style, that can be a different angle, a more poignant angle, if you would. So that could be it. There are medium iterations. That's one example that I like. Maybe even changing the creator, right? That's another one. Same message that's working for you. Try different creators out there on the UGC video, maybe changing the structure or changing the footage. That can work too. Then larger iterations, right? So these are gonna be iterations that take a lot more effort to execute on. They're not gonna be as easy. These will basically diversify your creative in a really good way, and that will bring you new and diverse audiences, and that's something that you really wanna do. So what are some of these examples? Change the product. That's gonna be massive, right? So that's just a huge change. It's a bit more risky. Try shoot the content outside in a cafe or a bus, train, etc. So like, this is difficult to execute if you're not making your ads yourself, right? If you're not the creator, this is actually hard to source because you need to brief a different thing, script another thing. Again, same message, just completely different setting. Try a different visual and conceptual hook, but the same core message. Again, never changing your message. So these are going to be some examples of small medium, and large iterations right here. And now I can actually show you how this works for two brands. Number one is Ridge, and number two is gonna be Headway. Both are killers, multi-million-dollar companies, really, really good at what they do. And you can see it here like in real time, right? Like for example, color change, super simple. Tactic, headline change, they're just changing the headline on the same ad right here. It can be as simple as that. So these are mostly small ones, right? We have some more extreme ones, like maybe this is a mid iterations. As I said, this is not Ridge, but it's a ring company. Exaggerate the concept, their best ring you'll ever own, then boom, the most badass ring you'll ever own. You can change the entire layout, right? So this is basically the same message, completely different layout. That's a bit more aggressive. That could be a mid, a mid swing. And then you have angle expansion. So over time, angle expansions can be bigger swings. I think they're mid swings, but like over time, you end up with stuff that has nothing to do, right? So you start here, you slowly start expanding on the angle. So it's a comparison angle every time. And then you compare stuff, you're just not showing it, but you're telling, right? And then you end up with something like this, a bit more sophisticated, more punchy, different vibe. So really, really interesting to do that, right? We have some other cases right here for Headway. And another way to view the iteration process would be, what is your patient zero? Like just honing into patient zero right here. This seems to be their first ad that said, disappear for 1 month and change your life. And then you can clearly see that same message, you disappeared for 1 month and came back stronger than ever. So as you can see, exact same message, completely different format. Didn't work out for them. Okay, no worries. But they tried something similar. Okay, very similar stuff, changed the visual, right? Like same messaging, same visual elements, same font style, changed color and format. Boom, that hit. Bigger swing, same messaging, but they changed color, format, layout, and visual elements. Boom, that hit. And from there, they can start expanding. Okay, they start expanding right here, and it becomes almost like a dance of mid swings, small swings, etc. Awesome. So it becomes a mix, and it's never like a straightforward process. Whoever says that to you, I think they're gonna be completely mistaken. It's never easy because these things, the iterations that you do, there are many factors that affect them, right? So there's seasonality, there's different markets, there's trends in your space. So like if all of a sudden disappearing for a month, disappear for 1 month, and then aesthetically this kind of thing in the design space starts working, it will work better. So it's so multifactorial, but by understanding what your message is and isolating that, you can just start thinking of ways of saying the same thing, communicating the same thing that hits and works in different kinds of ways. And that's why it's important to have like a proper creative framework to start with, because this does make life easier. Once you identify your message, your brand is not going to have more than 2 or 3. Actually, at least any product won't have more than 2 or 3 of these. So your messages are actually like the core, the deep core of what's gonna make all of your ads work, and all of the rest is just vehicles or different ways to say the same thing. Okay, so that is a bit of our iteration system. My intention with this video is that number one, you get good foundations, and that you go and are able to isolate your emotional components in your ads, and then use this as a starting point, almost as a checklist, right? Have I tried all of these angles? Have I tried all of these formats? Have I tried all of these performance boosters? And then if you have these other small, mid, large swings can give you just really quick ideas on how to grab something that's working and quickly whip up a new potential winner. Okay, so I think that by following these 2 documents, you are gonna be able to iterate better and create more winner ads at scale. Hey, thank you for watching, guys. I'm linking both of the documents that you saw right here below. So there's a link there. Click there and we'll send that to your inbox, and let me know what other types of content you want to see. Do you want to do ad breakdowns? Do you want me to go more growth strategy, media buying? Whatever you guys would find the most helpful, let me know in the comments. Hit subscribe, like the video if this was helpful, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one.